Hey guys, Sheep here, and welcome to another unboxing video. Today we're opening Tokyo Ghoul Union Arena Starter Deck. I wanted two, but unfortunately the store is doing what they should, which is you only get one during release day, and you buy another one a couple days from now. Um, so I was not a huge fan of the animated Tokyo Ghoul series, but I was a fan of the manga. So we're gonna go ahead and open this. This is the deck I actually want to play, which is Double Attack, Toka, and Ken. Sorry, it's been 5, 10 years since I read the manga slash watched the anime, so their names do kind of get me sometimes. Um, so the thing about Union Arena is when you have a starter deck, I really wish I had scissors on me. um, should have thought about this. When you get a starter deck, usually you want to buy two of them because the super rare cards only come as a 2 of in the starter deck, and you're playing a 4 of each format. I'm going to ruin this box, and I'm just so sorry for anyone watching that cares about that. Oh no, the box. Whatever will I do? So what do we get? We get a how to play guide with a mat. We are zoomed in so you can see the cards, so here's the mat. It's very small, I will say. Playable, but like tiny. It's okay. You always get these like really subpar mats in any starter deck for any game, to be honest. And here's a how to play guide in the back. Let me put the sheep away. So we're gonna open the pack last. I know you're so excited. So we have. Why does it start with the 4-drop? We have two 4-drop Udas. I'll put this up here so you can see it, so you can read it yourself. Choose up to one character with 1,500 or more battle points on your opponent's front line. It loses 1,000 battle points until end of turn. Activate main. If on the front line, pay 1 action point. Once per turn, choose one character with 1,500 or more battle points on your opponent's front line. It loses 1,000 battle points until end of turn. So we can make something lose 2,000. That's an okay card, but not something that'll probably end up making into the late list. We have 4 Ken Kaneki. I'm sure I ruined that, so we'll just call him Ken from now on. No effect, 0 cost, trigger, add this card to your hand. Just a generic raid target card. We have 2. I'm gonna go with Rise, but every time I pronounce something wrong, just make sure you point that out in the comments. Activate main. If on the sideline, let me put this up. If in the sideline, choose one Ken with no face down cards under on your field. Place this card from your sideline face down under that chosen character. You may place one card from your hand into your sideline. If you do, switch the character chosen with this ability to active. It loses 1,000 battle points at the end of turn. So we do have a minus battle point theme going on. So like you can see the difference. Like this being a 2 cost is just so much better than Uda being a 4 cost. And this activates from your sideline, which is disgustingly good. Whereas Uda's a 4 cost, has to be in play, though it does negative another 1,000. We have 4 Toka, same thing with the 0 cost Kens we had earlier, no effect. These are a booster instead of a get, but they're still your like main raid target. 1 Hinami. Choose up to one other character on your field. It gains 1,000 battle points until end of turn. I mean, just like a pretty generic 1-drop. It's not something that'll probably make it into the end of the list. Usually you want, let's see, 11 or 12 zeros, and then 4 1s, but I'm sure we can find a better 1 than this later on. Ryoko, I'm not going to try to pronounce the last name. I will ruin that. I'm sorry. Once per turn, this character gains purple energy generation, and at the end of the main phase, sideline this character until end of turn. Basically, just some way to skip you from 3 to 4. I'm not sure how I feel about it on a non-raid target. Usually you want that kind of effect on a raid target, so you can activate it. It adds an extra energy that turn, and then you raid over it, so that it doesn't go to the sideline. But it's still like our 12 zeros. A 2-drop extra energy when active. You always kind of want one of these in the 4-cost deck. 2 is probably fine. It lets you go 1, 2. If you're going first, you go 1 or 0, 0, 1, then 2, and then you untap and you have 4 already, so you're a little more aggro on 3. Oh, another 4-drop. I really hate 1 action point 4-drops that don't come into play active. They just feel too slow nowadays. The autofocus is really doing me a terrible injustice right now. Choose up to one other character on your front line. It gains 1,000 battle points until end of turn. If on the front line, pay 1 AP. Choose one other character on your battle point. It gains 1,000 until end of turn. So it's literally just the opposite of Uda. This Uda is lose 1,000. This Renji is gain 1,000. But pretty much the exact same effect. Then we have our restands. You can tell that you're supposed to buy 2 of these structure decks because they only give you 2 restands. And that's just not going to cut it. Choose up to 2 of your AP. Untap one of them for 3 action points plus 1. I'm going to zoom in a little more. I was hoping I wouldn't have to. But yeah, there's coffee. I know a lot of people don't like that there's screenshots from the anime or snippets from the manga if it's a manga set. I don't think it's too bad when your alt arts are reasonable. And our alt arts are usually pretty good. When we open the pack, we'll see at least one. Forward. If this character has a face-down card under it, it gains Nullify Impact. Nullify Impact is really good, but Conditional Nullify Impact is kind of questionable. It is a 4K 2-drop with Nullify Impact if you do have that extra face-down card under it. It's also a raid target because it's a kin. We got 4 of these. Here's our first SR. Kin Kaneki. Nullify Impact. I guess that's just his theme. He's Nullify Impact. Draw 2 cards and place 1 card from your hand into your sideline. I really wish it said under this card, because this card does care about cards under it. Damn, the glare is awful on this card. Goddamn. You can activate main if on the front line. You can only activate this ability if this character has a face down card under it. Switch this character to active. So you really want to combo this with your Rize. You draw 2, discard Rize, activate from your sideline. Choose this, put this face down under it, and then you can activate to switch to resting, which will come up soon. We get 2 of these. You really want 4. Because we want to talk about why you want resting cards, let me go ahead and find the other SR. So our other SR is Toka. Toka says, switch one active Ken with 4 or less required energy on your front line to resting. If you do, this character gains double attack. During this character's second attack, this character gains impact. So you really want to get this on your field with the Rize and sideline. Go summon this, draw 2, discard Rize, put Rize under Ken, play Toka, rest Ken, remove the side. Do you remove it? Nope. Reactivate Ken, and then you have 3 attacks with 2 cards. And of course, you have extra Tokas. You can do it multiple times, but this untap only works once per Ken. So that's our SRs in our main game plan. So yeah, I really think we do need 4 of the Rise. Here's another 1-drop. Hideyoshi, put a Ken that requires 4 or less energy from your sideline on top of your deck. I'm not sure how good that effect is, but we do have a lack of win conditions, so maybe it's fine. We have a 3-drop Toka. It is a 3-drop 1 energy, which is kind of sus, but it's not terrible. During your turn, this gains 500 battle points. At least it's a 4K. We are an aggro deck. You may switch one Ken with 4 or less required energy on your front line to resting if you do switch this character to active. Okay, so that's not too bad. So it's just a mini version of the 4-drop Toka. So it's an extra attack. It comes into play active technically if we have a Ken. So Ken is our activator and Tokas are our win conditions. We have 2 of these. You're probably going to want 4. For some reason these weren't together, but there's 2 Hideyoshis. This is a 3-drop 2 energy Nishiki. Look at the top card of your deck that placed on the bottom top or deck your sideline. This is a terrible effect, but you do need a lot of 3 energies, 2 drops, so that we can keep pushing our front line forward and use that for aggro effects. We have 4 of these, though I don't think this. I think this is what gets replaced with the 3-drop super rare Uda later. We have a 2-drop Sight. I'm not gonna try to pronounce this name. I am sorry. It's just not gonna happen. I'd probably call it like Anti-Iku. We'll see how terrible we did. Um, choose up to 1 character on your field and switch to active. So it's just another way to activate to get your Kens to active. So maybe you do play like 1 or 2 of these. Activate main to switch to red, saying sideline this card. Choose one of your characters and switch to active. So it switches to active on play and by sacrificing it. That's pretty good because you can use this for like some weird aggro plays where you're like going second, you go 0-0, play a 2-drop to front, play the 2-drop to backline, restand your 2-drop. We have 2 of these. We have 4 Kaneki's Mass. So the problem is I don't like event cards that don't have action point restands, and this one just says draw 3 cards and place 1 card from your hand in your sideline. And in any other game, this effect is like insanely good. But in this game, I think it's just not worth the tempo loss. But they did give us 4 of them. Oh, bring those down a little bit. Sorry, I'm a little more zoomed than I'm used to. Nothing Here Belongs to You is our special, which is our kill spell. Choose 1 character with 3,000 or less battle points in your opponent's front line and sideline it. If Toka is on the board, it's 5,000 or less instead. Just pretty generic special. And as I was saying, like you can tell that you want you to have 2 structure decks because like what are we doing with 2 specials and 2 restands? Nothing. The answer is nothing. And then our 3 action points, which is the mask. They're okay. They're not the worst action points I've seen come out of a structure deck. Okay, and lastly, the pack. So, I'm going to put this face down. So one of the things I really hate about UA is they put these cards in this pack. And this pack is to support the other decks in the format, in the Tokyo Ghoul set, and not the, what do you call it? And not the purple deck that we just bought. So even if you don't want to play this purple deck, you always end up having to buy some structure decks or buy these cards online or something. So I am not planning on playing any deck besides this deck because I like the Toka plus Ken double attack combo. I think that's really cool. So we have these 4 cards, and I'm using them as trade fodder to try to get my other SRs and things to finish this deck out. So we'll have 8 of these that we don't actually need, but we just have them. So starting off, we got our alt art. We got the 2-drop Juzo. This is probably going to end up being the more expensive one. It is red if you have 4 or more CCG affinity cards on your sideline. This character gains impact 1. That's really weird. Oh, it's on your field. Sorry, I read it as a sideline. It's really weird for a 3K, but a 2-drop 3K with impact is super good aggro consistency. Then we got the red Kaneki. This is for the deal damage to yourself list. This character gains all abilities below if you have the required amount of life, 5 or less during your turn. This gets 500, so it's a 4,000 3-drop, which is perfectly fine. 1 energy does kind of suck, but whatever. 3 or less, you have no life fight impact. When played, you may add 1 card from your life to your hand if you do draw a card. So it has the Goddess Asuka effect of take a damage, draw a card. Well, take a damage. What I really mean is to return 1 card from your life to your sideline. We had the 4-drop Hisei. This is our raid. Look top. This is the first time I think they put a raid in this pack, which is really, really awkward. Look at top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Moto Squad affinity and add it to your hand. Place the remaining cards on top at the bottom in any order. That's a really good raid for effect for a 4-drop raid. Activate main. If on the front line, pay 1 AP. Once per turn, play 1 yellow card with 3 or less required energy, 1 AP cost, and Moto Squad affinity from your hand set to resting on your field. Okay, so it just lets you. Why would you want to do that? Pay the 1 AP. Oh, it's because the way this deck works is you have a card that lets you restand your AP, but you can't use cards from your hand for the rest of the turn. So I'm guessing that's so that you can keep playing cards from your hand without having to actually play them from your hand, quotation marks. The last one is the Kisha Arima, which is just a 5-drop damage 2, which looks so unsuspecting. 5-drop damage 2, doesn't come into play active, costs 1, but it's for the big yellow deck. But that is it for us. I'm hoping the next video is the taking this deck apart and smashing 2 structure decks together. I should have that out tomorrow, assuming they let me buy another one tomorrow. So peace until then, guys.